Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Isabel Bugayong, Operator Marketing Manager from Unilever Food Solutions. Welcome to our Inspire Sessions, our online series that aims to support food businesses during this challenging time. Last March 7, the Philippines encountered its first local case of the coronavirus, and over a week after, we were placed under enhanced community quarantine. It has been over a month since then, and the stringent health precautions have led us to witness a shift in consumer behavior. Due to health and safety concerns, people have shifted to online buying with the emergence of e-commerce platforms and social selling. The food service industry has likewise felt the impact of the ECQ, not only with the inability of employees to report to work, but with dine-in any form of social gathering prohibited by the government in the spirit of social distancing. In our previous Inspire sessions, we talked about health and nutrition and the emergence of delivery. Today, we learn from the experience of a food business and how they reacted, responded, and continue to thrive. For today's session, we've invited restaurateur and businessman David Sison, who owns and manages Mama Lou's Italian Kitchen and Nona's Pasta and Pizzeria. He is also a director of HRAP, or the Hotel and Restaurant Association of the Philippines. Turning over to you, David.
Hi, this is David Sison from Mamalus Group. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you, Adol, for inviting me to be the speaker. Thank you, Isabel from Unilever, for inviting me as well. Uh, I hope this simple presentation that I will share with you can inspire so that everyone will be able to survive today and thrive tomorrow. So, to give you a background about Mama Lou's, showing you our website. Actually, our website is not live yet. So, we created this during the quarantine, which will be live yeah, by tomorrow. So, Mama Lou's has two brands. One is Mama Lou's Italian Kitchen and Donna's Pasta and Pizzeria. So we're an Italian restaurant that serves authentic Italian food. We have around 13 restaurants as of date, 10 Mama Lou's, 3 Nonas. Uh, most of our most of our business is dine-in. So roughly around 95% of our business is dine-in. And it is our mission to create meaningful connection through excellent and impeccable service to our guests and to the community as well. So, like the rest of the restaurants, I think we were also affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, everyone is affected, right? And we're also one of the restaurants that closed down. As of today, we have 5 restaurants that are open, and it wasn't that easy to open restaurants now. You have the enhanced community quarantine. The checkpoints are there. Most of your people. I mean, you have to look at the safety of all your people. You have to make sure that everyone is protected. And but even in every crisis, there's always an opportunity, right? And we have to focus and look for that opportunities. And as the most affected, one of the most affected industries that are hit by this COVID-19 pandemic, we need to survive today in order to thrive tomorrow. I'm sharing with you 4 key ideas that has guided us as we are currently operating. So first is looking for opportunities in this crisis. Next is building a winning menu. Oh, oops, sorry. There. Next is building a winning menu. Uh, The next is providing a positive experience for your guests, even for delivery and takeout. And lastly, now more than ever, it is important to communicate to your customers, maybe in the form of social media, uh, that you are making sure that the food that you prepare is safe for consumption. Even the practices that you are doing in the restaurant, you have to be transparent with everything, especially in this time. The first opportunity is that food is considered as essential. So even with the ECQ, restaurants, if should they wish to operate, can actually operate. And we've done that at the beginning. So since we were able to create a program to make sure that we can operate consistently, it wasn't easy. I mean, the actual checkpoints revealed that how the it showed the challenges. But since we decided to open, we communicated this to our guests through social media. So as you can see, we created this ad where you can stay home and we'll come to you, and we provided information such as our numbers where they can reach us. Uh, all things considered, here's the next slide. The most important thing before operating or when you're operating is to consider the safety of your team. That is the number one priority. Uh, when the ECQ happened, we've had team members that had to go back to their provinces to spend time with their family. And we have a few restaurants that we provided a staff house, and we have very determined people uh, that have that wanted to go back to work. So we were able to build that skeletal team that will operate, that will be there for the restaurants. And it was it's not easy. I mean, at the beginning there will be days where we don't know if we can open. I mean, uh, the only the only thing that would, of course, have the restaurant open is if your staff, your team members would actually show up. And because of the challenges with the checkpoint, and since the rules were not yet clearly set at the beginning, you don't know. I mean, it's just stay at home. Now, considering the safety for team members now that they're in the restaurant, it's creating a program. It's creating a program in educating them and orienting them on what measures should they take. If the Department of Health is encouraging everyone to wash their hands, how can we implement this in the restaurant? And what measures will be put to make sure that they are actually doing it? So we focus on that first, educating everyone about social distancing, washing their hands, strictly wearing PPEs, making sure that they are practicing that. So for accessibility, we're fortunate that the locations where we're open now is accessible for deliveries and takeout. So we're located not inside the malls, but it's outside the malls. So it was easy for our third-party partners, which is Grab, and even our guests to go to the restaurant and order for takeout. I think one of the opportunities as well, since we're on a skeletal workforce, is to look at your current manpower. We've had our servers, since there's no dine-in anymore. We've had servers that became our riders. So it was a brief. I mean, it- we the Grab and the Food Panda and the Angkas are there, our third party partners, but creating our own riders from our own team uh, was actually a better opportunity, since the full percentage that we give to our third party will now be given to our to our team members. There has to be constant communication with your partners. And then when I talk about partners, these are your management team. These are your suppliers, and these are your mall partners as well. Uh, I mean, the malls at the beginning, they gave us the option, if we can open, then we can open. So, they gave us that opportunity to remain open and provide service for guests. For our supply chain, for our suppliers, you have to maintain constant communication to make sure that the items that you will be serving, they can provide it. So I'll discuss that on the next idea. But that really helped a lot. Not all the suppliers can provide, but there are a few that would step up and provide the service. The next opportunity is still continue relationship building with your guest, and that can be through social media. I think we have a very proactive social media team uh, that constantly engages with our guests, and that's nice. So, safety of our team, accessibility, maintaining communication with your partners, and continue relationship building with your guests. Another opportunity here is, I mean, most restaurant operators, even our suppliers, because of the sudden disruption in business, like in our case, we've ordered a lot of ingredients already in preparation for the summer. And I mean, instead of these ingredients going to waste, we we got the inventory, and we saw the opportunity to donate to our frontliners. And actually, that's how we started. I mean, since there were several checkpoints, everyone was donating to all the frontliners. I think we started and focused on donating to uh, the I mean the IATF, the ones from the checkpoint, and I mean there's so many organizations. One is the Frontline Feeders that has helped us connect with all the hospitals. So you look at your current inventory, instead of it going to waste. I mean, because you know that the business is not the same as before. So what do you do with all those ingredients? Convert it to pizza and pasta and serve it to those who need it. And we did that. We're still doing that. We created what we call a Project 5000. And so during this ECQ, our initial target was to feed 5,000 frontliners. And if we surpass that, I mean it's good. So it's showing our appreciation to the frontliners. Uh, Next opportunity is so we've developed an ordering system where we've noticed that most of our customers order on Facebook. So I mean the engagement suddenly increased, And in order to provide like an accurate, a more seamless approach, so we strategized and we agreed that Facebook Messenger or Facebook is one of the best tools to provide that. Number one, you don't need an app. Number two, everyone has Facebook. And number three, for those that don't have Facebook, we have the Facebook Messenger. So then that's what we've noticed. We've noticed that we have guests that don't have Facebook, but they have Facebook Messenger. So how does it work? I mean, you just go through our website. So this is I'll show you this video. It's a mobile website. It's a Facebook app. So you just click on our page. You click on Shop Now. It shows you. So when you click Start Over, you can order there. So you have that option for delivery or pick up. So let's say you choose delivery, you can send your location and it would confirm. So these are the items. Then I'm ordering frozen clam chowder. You choose a quantity, then you check out. Oh wait, I'm still ordering a pasta. So this application is actually readily available. There are suppliers. There are several companies that do this. I work with a company called Boti, and they've been really helpful with how I mean the transactions are now seamless. So the back end is easier, less phone calls, less messages, less email. So you pick the date, and this is the receipt, and the order is confirmed. So this is how the delivery application works. That I think everyone should, it's an opportunity for everyone to do as well. Building a winning menu. Uh, at Mama Lou's, we have around, if I'm not mistaken, we have around 60 to 70 items on the menu. And that's a menu that we have in the restaurant. So I don't think that's possible now, maintaining the menu that you have in the restaurant and serving that for delivery and takeout. So we we analyzed what items that we should put on our delivery and takeout menu, and what other items can we add on aside from our initial menu. And in order to do that, first is you have to analyze your supply chain. I mean, you have to consider all the ingredients that you have access to. So that needs constant communication with your suppliers. Once you have that, then you can limit down your offering. So if I mean, in our case, it was 60 to 70 that we brought down to at least 30. And there are restaurants that have 90 items on their menu, and there are restaurants that uh, are specialized. Then you have to focus on what you're aiming for. And I think that's always consistency. How can you consistently provide the same pasta that would be when you serve it and it arrives at home? It's still a really excellent pasta. I mean, the vongole that we create in the restaurant should. I mean, the experience that you have when you dine in the restaurant, you have to emulate that experience when your guests receive that vongole at home. Next is you analyze the margins of your items. I mean, at this time now, you have to remove low margin items. So you need to make sure that you can survive. But you can't be losing either. Sorry for the spelling. Yeah, losing either. So, and of course, the big idea, and I think a lot of establishments are doing this, is they are offering ready to eat frozen dishes, ready to eat, ready to heat. So we've done that as well. And we're lucky that we have items in our commissary that are centralized that we can actually sell directly to our guests at home. So so those are the key things for building a winning menu. Now more than ever, even with delivery and takeout, your guests are entitled to a positive experience. Uh, so so providing that memorable experience is not only seen in dine-ins, but it should be seen in takeouts and deliveries as well. And three key points that we consider is number one, having attention to details. Number two, having that sense of urgency for every inquiry, for every delivery. And number three is following up and following through. I think the best opportunity for this now is that we have information of the guest. So they call us, we have their information. Now, we can consistently communicate with them. The guest journey, the guest experience. And, we're not perfect. And if we make, and there are challenges, if there are any challenges or any mistakes that we did, we make it a point to recover from that and to make it up to them. And I think that's opportunity as well for the restaurants that would open because it's building your loyal following again. You don't want like just a guest I would order just one time. You want them to consistently get from you. Uh, the opportunity. So I'd like to share with you this really excellent tweet that we got last April 3 from Jello Gallardo, which mentioned that the best thing that happened to him this week was our Lucius truffle pasta and the truffle mac and cheese. I mean, this just makes our day. This is why we do what we do. Now, you also have to consider. I mean, when you talk about the positive experience, and we're not perfect in this as well, but this is our guide. The food items that the guest would order, you have to ask, will they travel well? Number one, uh, does it look appetizing? Sorry here. Yeah, does it look appetizing or presentable when it gets to their table? So you have to consider that. Uh, is your packaging great for storing leftovers or for reheating? So you have to consider once the item is there and they don't finish it. I mean, how will they store it? How will they reheat it? Right? And this is the most important. I mean, for all the restaurants out there, we're not doing it yet, but we're considering to tamper proof the food. So most of the items, I mean, since we've also partnered with Grab and Food Panda, which are third-party deliveries, uh, there is a possibility where the food can be tampered. So you have to consider that. You have to make sure that your food is tamper-proof, and that builds confidence, right? So you have to look at quality containers as well. Uh, People go to restaurants as a cause for celebration, and during this quarantine, I mean, most of our guests that order from us has, I mean, celebrate something. Whether it's a birthday, an anniversary. So it's really, and I'm sharing you with you this note that our guest provided their staff, which says that, dear Mama Luz, today we are celebrating my husband's birthday, and we were sad we won't be able to make it special, but because of people like you, would get to eat great food and enjoy his day. Thank you for what you do, with love, Chris and Tiffany Policarpio. So this is why we do what we do. I mean, it's not what you did or how you did it, or it's not what you said. It's really how you made the other person feel. I think I got that from Danny Meyer. That business like life is all about how you make people feel. It's that simple and it's that difficult. Building confidence through transparency. It's always, I think it's very important now more than ever to communicate with your guests, with your customers, and share with them by means of social media. And I've seen this in a few restaurants where they take photos of their team, how they prepare the food, and this is very reassuring to the guest. And we've started to do that as well, step by step, because we have our own system. We have like our own Facebook workplace system where we see what happens in the restaurant. And I myself, I still go to the restaurant to check from time to time how how things should be done. Uh, and we've noticed that, of course, I mean, how the food is packed. If you fail to communicate things properly, people would have their own interpretations on how you actually do things. For example, like for every pizza in Mama Ru's, we serve it with alfalfa and arugula. And I'll show you how we pack our arugula. So here's Anne. So as you'll see, she's packing the arugula, and there's an air inside the plastic that naturally, because of physics, she was able to do. So what's funny is, so we posted this on Twitter, how to safely prepare arugula for delivery, and why do we need to put air inside, right? Of course, I mean, for takeouts and deliveries, the arugula is very soft, and if you don't put like a barrier to it, and you deliver the item, it can bump left and right, right? So the air protects the arugula to make sure that when it arrives, it's still in one piece. One feedback that we got was, oh, this should have been cleared before. We didn't eat the arugula from our order yesterday because we feared that someone blew air into the bag. So that's I mean, you can't blame anyone for this. So that's why it is our role, it is our job to make sure that we actually show how we prepare these things, right? These are best practices. So it gives them that confidence. So as closing, going back to my first slide, uh, I mean, for all the operators, I mean, this pandemic, I mean, we don't know when this pandemic will end. I mean, we don't know when the ECQ will the ECQ be lifted. Everyone is scared. I mean, I'm scared as well. But it's not going to stop us from looking at the opportunities that are provided to us today. And we have to capitalize on these opportunities in order for us to survive. And surviving today will help us maintain and continue to build the relationships we have with our guests in order for us to thrive tomorrow. I continue to remain optimistic about the opportunities that are presented to us, and my advice is to always think different and to continuously innovate. Always be curious, ask questions. I mean, look at the technologies that are provided today and capitalize on that. Uh, so I mean, right now, you can order Mama Lou's on Facebook Messenger. We're available for delivery and pickup. We encourage everyone to stay home so that we can come to you. And I mean, I remain optimistic that this will end, and I hope that we can all survive so that we can thrive tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, David, for that very insightful presentation. It was very inspiring to see a food business that was able to react not only with a positive focus, but also with malasakit for its staff and community. Now let's recap what we've discussed during this session. On business continuity, it's important to look for opportunities now and do not wait for the future. Safety will remain a top priority for consumers even after the ECQ is lifted, so we can expect social distancing to remain as long as vaccines are not yet available. The crisis not only affects businesses but the community as well. So take this opportunity to serve those who are in need and especially your employees. Next point is on your winning menu. Given that there's limitation on communicating what you have to offer, your product, your packaging, and order experience only through social media, this places a larger pressure on restaurants to focus on key dishes and drive customer satisfaction in the whole ordering journey. Foot traffic is no longer dependent on location, but on word of mouth as well. And with the shift of ordering methods and business models, businesses have to review their profitability. Changes such as demand and feed expenses are things you must consider, as well as expansion from ready-to-eat to include ready-to-cook food. Another key topic that we tackled is on safety and training. Transparency on safety efforts helps build your brand equity and your relationship with your customers. Brands and companies who make an effort to care are also those who can leave a positive impression on customers. Linked to this is our last point, which is creating positive experiences for diners, even with the shift from dine-in to home consumption. It's important to keep in mind how we can still put our customers first, and during this time, it means to always pay attention to detail and make sure to follow through. That's all from us today. We would like to thank David Sison once again. For feedback and other topics you would like to learn about, just leave your comments down below. We'd love to know your stories and future plans. And if you found this session helpful, feel free to head over to ufs.com for more helpful articles on COVID-19 related topics. Thank you for joining us today, and as always, please stay safe.
UFS. Support, inspire, progress.